Welcome to the Wise Take DFS podcast for Tuesday, August 29th. I am your host, Patio Joe. You can find me on Twitter at Patio Joe Ref. And I'm joined here tonight by my man Q's, but I got down. You're going to see once the podcast is up. I got down, instead of Q's, I got the Beast down there instead of this time. And you can follow him at Twitter at Syracuseeee with 4 E's. How you been tonight, Q's?
It's pretty good, man. It's been a weird night for DFS. So I've been only played one lineup. Didn't work out too well. Went with the Rockies stack with obviously Cargo in it. So that I think that tilted everybody tonight based on what I saw his ownership at.
Yeah, that's a Jimmy Butler moment for NBA. I always remember that. Oh my God. I swear I quit playing NBA DFS the whole season after that Jimmy Butler incident, and I was like, I'm done.
Yeah.
And anyways. So, yeah, I played 2 lineups tonight. One, I had Cargo in it, so like everybody did. He was my play of the day. He gets scratched like 3 minutes after the lineup block. That's just great, and thank you for telling us. So, you turn the page to the next day and you turn on, because we're winding down the season here. So, we're just going to get right into this, and then we're going to do a little of the DraftKings Pick'em. I might sprinkle in a little bit of football here and there, but probably not. We want to just get on to baseball today. There's some rain tomorrow. We gotta take take notice of it as we go into the next as we go into tomorrow. So you gotta look at it. We'll start off here in Baltimore. Erasmo Ramirez of the Seattle Mariners taking on Dylan Bundy of the Baltimore Orioles.
I don't really have too much interest in either one of these pitchers. I mean, Bundy against Seattle. I mean, Seattle's got an implied run total of 4.4, which isn't that high. But I just don't really see the need for either one of these pitchers tomorrow. I have a pretty good feeling on, a few of the other guys, so I probably won't be touching either of these one of the guys. Especially Bundy right now is like 10-4 on at least on FanDuel. That's getting up there a little high for me for him. As far as the bats, I have some interest in the Orioles. They've been hot. Going against Ramirez. Ramirez, I think, had a good game his last time out, but I don't see him being, doing that consistently. So, you get the scope, the Machado, who's starting to finally, hit the ball again, and then you got Jones, those guys. Other than that, I probably won't touch anybody else in this game for offense.
Do you think the ADI is going to be up tomorrow? Because it's going to be 86% humidity. What do you think? Do you think is that a?
See, right now in the season, the ADI has not really shown much up until today. It's because it's getting colder everywhere. So most of the ADIs have been between 60 and 65, which is pretty average. There was the one game today where it was like the VMI on the. Who did the Braves play? The Braves Phillies. The Braves were like -9 VMI, which showed really good for Nola. And then when you look at the ADI, it was also very favorable for pitching, which is why it was one of the days in a while that it really stuck out that Nola was a great play. And I believe he pitched good. After 5 innings, I don't think he'd given up a run, maybe one. But tomorrow, I don't think that the ADI is going to show much. And the VMIs usually, the first game of the series are usually where they're drastic. And it filters down until the third game, they kind of like average out. Mm-hmm. So I don't think that the ADI or the VMI for this game is really going to be much in play.
Mm-hmm. All right, yeah. I mean, I could see a little bit of Scope and Machado, something like that, Beckham. They're all pretty expensive on FanDuel, so... Yeah. Another just keeps on going off. Adam Jones again, man. I wrote him up. Hit another home run today, man. Guy's having a great season. Started it off with the World Baseball Classic, and he's kept it going. So, Vance Worley of the Miami Marlins traveling to the nation's capital to take on Edwin Jackson of the Washington Nationals. There's going to be light rain here and another humid weather. It's really close, so you could probably get the same type of weather. What do you got on this game?
This is one of the games I really don't have a good I'm not really sure on anything from this game. The pitching, I believe Worley pitched against Washington. Let me look real fast while I have the game log up. Not too long ago, yeah. There was the game where he had pitched 6 innings, had 2 strikeouts, and only gave up 1 run. I think that was his first game or second game coming back. So he's pitched against him twice in it since he's come back, and he's pitched pretty well against him. Washington's struggling. So, I mean, I don't see his upside being there. Like, I don't think he's going to be one of those guys that, gets you 6x, 7x, 8x on either one of those sites. But I think, like, if you're going with an expensive Rocky stack or somebody that's expensive tomorrow, I think he's in play as far as GPPs. Only because he's pitched pretty well against him, and Washington really hasn't done much until tonight. As far as Edwin Jackson, I'm not touching Miami right now. They're not playing terrible. They're not playing great. They're scoring like 4 or 5 runs a game. And I know Jackson's velocity's been up, but it's still not a team I want to pick on with Miami. As far as the bats, if you want to play the Miami bats, I think they're in play tomorrow. Washington bats, I really don't have any interest tomorrow.
Well, we do have Trey Turner that's returning from the DL tomorrow. So that is a big thing. I think at 3.5, maybe he's good as a one-off. You could come back, steal a few bases. I'd like to see how Worley holds guys on. Who knows? I think he's a good one-off. But, yeah, last week we kind of said that we can attack this Washington Nationals lineup. I don't know if I'm going to do it with Worley, but you kind of know where we're going with that, where it seems a little bit more mortal. Now that they get Turner back, if they can get Harper back, they're going to be a good team down the stretch.
Did Turner do a rehab assignment? Do you know?
I don't know. I heard it came down to the thing that Baker's going to activate him tomorrow, and Fantasy Labs has him leading off. So at 3.5, that's pretty good. I don't mind him, especially against Worley. It's not like he's facing anybody special. So we got Trevor Bauer of the Cleveland Indians traveling to the Bronx to take on Jaime Garcia and the New York Yankees. Another rain game a little bit.
Yeah, unfortunately. If this game, if weather's not a concern, obviously pitching is not going to affect me. I'm not touching either pitcher from this game. Garcia's just been terrible. Bauer, I'm not picking on the Yankees. So, and as far as bats, I love both sides. The only time I actually play Cleveland is when they're not. I don't feel like, people are on them. When people sleep on them, they usually score. When people are on them a lot, they usually don't score. So it's going to depend on my feel on them tomorrow. People are off them, which I think they will be. I have a lot of interest in them, especially against Garcia. And I also have interest in the Yankees' bats, especially against Bauer. They've been heating up. As far as the suspensions, I know there was some talk today on the radio. I didn't get a chance to listen to the implications of the amount of games and when they're going to start serving them. But if there's, Sanchez and all those guys are playing, I definitely like the Yankee bats.
Yeah, I'm into that. I mean, I can't see why this game isn't. If everything's good, you should just go there. It's not. I mean, like you said, the Yankees are heating up. Bauer's nothing special, but I don't know if I do a full stack of the Yankees. I think I might go, just a mini stack or something like that. Bauer's, I like him a little bit more than you do. So, anyways, let's move on to the next game. That is. What, you want to say something, or did you read something?
No, go ahead. I'll let you get to.
Okay. By the way, what happened today on Twitter? You said you were getting. What happened? Somebody said something. You got all mad. What?
I was getting yelled at today on Twitter. We had a big Twitter rage party against. Basically, the cargo scratch went down, and somebody on Fantasy Labs, because they're the ones that tweeted out he wasn't playing, said Cargo was a terrible play today, and if anybody had played him, they should just quit DFS. So,
oh my god,
me, I'm not gonna. I didn't really leave it at that. So I kind of entertained the Twitter hate and went back and forth with them. And at the end, I was just like, "Have a good day and good luck in your free contest." And I got the response back of, "You have the intelligence of my testicles, and go fuck yourself." So I had a good night on Twitter tonight.
And this is the people at Fantasy Labs?
No, it wasn't anybody. It was just people that were commenting
on
himself.
I mean, because
batting 6 was a bad play. So
they're full of shit.
I don't know. It was just inexperienced players,
that type of stuff. Yeah, sometimes it's so hard to talk to the public. I agree. Yeah, I don't know. Everybody's like, you can attack the Indians with lefties, but then they put up like 27 runs in the first 2 innings against Skoglund on Sunday, and he was a lefty.
Yeah, true.
Like I don't know. I think that there probably is other places to go tomorrow because Jaime
Right.
Garcia just never seems to be like, he really never ever gets like crushed. So I understand it, but anyways, let's seriously. We're gonna move on this time. We're gonna go to the Dick. Oh, it's on the slate.
Yeah. Oh, that's what I was laughing at.
Oh, that's right. Dickie's on the slate. We got light. We have rain, but it's in like red. I don't know why. So, R.A. Dickey is traveling to Philly. God, like the whole East is just basically raining like crap. You know what I mean? Like, and then he's traveling to Philly to take on Mark Leiter and the Philadelphia Phillies.
I want to look at the ADI for this game tomorrow. Actually, I probably should have looked it up. I think I have it already. But if the ADI is like it was today, I'll like pitch maybe both sides. Definitely, Dickey is probably one of my favorite pitches tomorrow, other than Sale, only because he's absolutely annihilated the Phillies.
Mm-hmm.
He's pitched. He's had some really huge games against them. His last time out, he had 7 innings pitched, 8 strikeouts, and the time before that, he also, I don't know if I have it up on the game log, he had 7 innings and 8. So he's had at least 8 strikeouts both times facing him. They haven't hit the knuckleball, and his price is starting to get up there to the point where, he's not as easy as to play as he has been in the past. So the weather is definitely going to be whether or not I play him or not tomorrow. If the weather's good for pitching and there's not going to be any rain, I'm definitely going to have some exposure to him in GPPs, obviously not cash. Leiter, like I said, I want to see how the weather plays out. I mean, if they got a good umpire and the weather's good for pitching, I might have some exposure to him because the Braves today had one of the worst VMIs on the slate. So I anticipate it's going to be a little bit better tomorrow, but it's still going to be pretty bad. As far as hitting from this, I really don't have any interest in either side for hitting. I think there's better spots on the slate.
Yeah. I'm looking at this game. I don't know. I mean, I guess you can attack Leiter. And didn't he get roughed up last week pretty good in the one game against the Marlins?
He has good games, bad games.
Yeah.
You never know with him.
Mm-hmm. So you're right though. Freeman is slumping right now. I'm sad because I love him, but he's slumping. So yeah, I think this game, to me, on a 15-game slate, I'm probably crossing this game out. Maybe, I mean, I just don't like playing Ari Dickey. Some people go the knuckleball route. I just don't want to deal with that. I'll find somewhere else. So, in that being said, I'm going to just go to Chris Sale and the Boston Red Sox, traveling to Toronto to take on Brett Anderson and the Blue Jays.
About the last game, I just looked it up. The ADI for tomorrow is 67, which is favorable for pitchers, and the Braves have a -462 BMI, so something to consider tomorrow. So about the Sale game, Sale's probably the chalk tomorrow.
For cash, for sure.
Cash, he's absolutely lit up Toronto. I believe earlier in the season he did awesome against him. Then the previous 2 outings he's done good. The only thing bad for Sale tomorrow is he has a bad umpire. There's a few umpires out already. He's got one of the worst ones on the slate so far. But I don't. It's not going to take me off him because he's just been so good against Toronto, and we all know Toronto struggles against the slider. So I think he's definitely in play for cash tomorrow, even though his salary is 13-1 on FanDuel. I'm not sure what it is on DraftKings. I don't think I have it up anymore. So I definitely love him for cash tomorrow. As far as the bats, I think Boston could go, sneaky because there's a few good options on the slate tomorrow. So people might sleep on Boston and going against Brett Anderson. I definitely want to have some exposure to some of the bats for them.
Yeah, I like going against Brett Anderson tomorrow. He's nothing special. He doesn't throw hard, so look up his junk stuff and attack guys that can hit good junk stuff. So that's what I say. On the other side, Chris Sale is your cash game pitcher tomorrow. It seems like, at least where we're going through, I don't see many others. well, maybe we could see somebody to where maybe we can fade him in GBP that's what we probably got to look for. But yeah, on the other side, I'm not going to touch the Blue Jays at all. Maybe a little bit of Red Sox and some Sale. So let's get to Chris Flexen. I'm flexing right now. I know you can't see me. You can flex too.
Me too.
Chris
I was flexing too. I don't know.
Good. I saw it. Now I can see you. You just can't see me. So just call me John Cena. You can't see me. So we got Chris Flexen and the New York Mets traveling to Cincinnati to take on Sal Romano and the Cincinnati Reds.
I'm really disappointed to see Sal Romano's salary so high in FanDuel, to be honest with you. It's like 7.6. Before I looked at the prices and stuff, I really liked him for tomorrow. He's been great his last 2 times out. The last 2 games, he faced the Braves, pitched 7 innings.
Sal Romano is a 6'3" on FanDuel. I think Fantasy Labs is wrong. He's 6'3". I'm looking at it. I'm on the website right now. Yeah, those are all wrong on Labs right now. Another thing that's wrong with Labs.
Yeah, tell me about it. So I love Romano tomorrow. I think he's a great play, especially against the struggling Mets. They've been striking out a ton. Romano's been great his last 2 times out. For his price, he can definitely get you the upside that you're going to need for tournaments. Obviously, he's not cash playable. Flexing on the other end, not touching Flexing. I really love the Reds tomorrow. Apparently, Vegas does too. Their implied run total is 5.7 right now. I think they're going to light up Flexing, especially when you get the lefties of Votto, Gannett, Hamilton, who can get on, steal bases, even Kozar. So I love the Reds tomorrow. I'm hoping that they're not going to be as chalky with the Colorado playing, but I think after what Colorado did tonight, I don't think a lot of people are going to want to play them.
Mm-hmm.
So they might, if the Reds are going to be super chalky and a lot of people are on them, I'm going to be off them. But otherwise, if I think the ownership's going to be decent, I will definitely be on the Reds tomorrow for my favorite stack.
Yeah, you gotta love a little Sal Romano. Pauly D will be like, "Hey yo, Sal Romano, yo, hey yo." But yeah, Sal Romano, I like him tomorrow, especially if you want to go the Mike Montgomery route, as we did today. Just stack those bats up because you got 6,300 and just stack them up. Yeah, I like it. And on the other side, let's see here. I think Votto, Hamilton, Gannett, and then if you want to put in Kozar, Duvall, they'll be just fine. That's not a bad thing. Or you can go Schebler too. You go bottom if you want to get a little bit. If you think they're going to be chalky, go Gannett, Suarez, Schebler, Barnhart. I mean that could be just you can still get off of that and do a little bit better. That's a little bit more contrarian. And yeah, Romano's good just because he's going to be going against the lineup. I mean, God. Man, without Conforto or Cespedes, I mean, come on, Cabrera, Wilmer Forms. I mean, why can't we get Chris Sale against these guys, or somebody like great, oh, you gotta play him. So, anyways, yeah, so we're good. We like Romano. He's gonna be on the short list to look at tomorrow. Let's move on. We're going to Milwaukee. Luke Weaver of the St. Louis Cardinals taking on Matt Garbage Garza and the Milwaukee Brewers.
You ain't kidding. Love Weaver tomorrow. I think we've been on him here at White Steak for probably since he came up. Like, we had a hot take on him the first night he pitched. I loved him after looking at his minor league stats, and most of us have been on him since then. He's been killing it. Going up against Milwaukee, we know they strike out a ton. He's actually done really well against Milwaukee. So even with his price tag getting starting to creep up at, I think it's up to 8.4 now. FanDuel, I still love him tomorrow. The upside's there. I'm gonna be more of a GPP play, obviously with Sale on the slate. So definitely love some Weaver. On the other end, Garza, I'm not touching, and I love some of the St. Louis bats. They've been finally starting to come around, they're starting to click. And a lot of people are not playing them. I played him the other night in the stack. He did pretty good. They didn't go off, but they did good enough to win me some money. So I'm definitely going to have some exposure to the Cardinals if I do multiple lineups.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the Cardinals are hot, and I wish they had some really good lefty hitters in the lineup. It'd really be nice to go up against Garza. But, Carpenter is good. He'd be good. And then you can always throw Fammer to Young in there. And Fowler's a switch hitter, so that's not bad. On the other side, Weaver, people are on him now, and I think he's good. And I think he's a good GPP option. But I also could think he can get his tits lit tomorrow, too. Shaw, Walker, James, Braun, that I like that. That could be a good stack too, and very, very, very low owned. Yeah.
They haven't hit him yet, though. I mean, I think, is this his second start against them? I don't know if it's his second or...
Yeah.
I'm trying to look at his game log real fast.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's their first.
Yeah, he only pitched against them. Actually, the second time he's pitched against them. Third time he's pitched against them, so... He's on FanDuel. He put up 39, 39, and 47. So you would think by now they'd be used to him, and he's still doing good against them. So something to consider.
In Chicago, the smooth sounds of Chad Kuhl and the Pittsburgh Pirates going to the Windy City to take on Jake Arrieta and the Chicago Cubs. What you got, Q's?
You're gonna put me to sleep at this point.
It's the smooth sounds. This is adult contemporary. That's what Chad Kuhl is. He's adult contemporary. Chad Kuhl.
I think Kuhl could be sneaky tomorrow, but I mean, Chicago's just heating up. I mean, with the options out in the slate, like, if you're doing like 20 different lineups and you really want to get a few with Kuhl, fine, but I'm not going to touch them tomorrow. Chicago's had a few games where they went off. They've been starting to heat up in the second half. Arrieta, actually, I think he, he's probably, if Sale wasn't on the slate, he'd probably be my favorite for cash. He's been so consistent in his last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Almost his last 10 games, he's just been, the floor is high, ceiling is low, putting up like a good 45 points on FanDuel. He's been pretty safe. Pittsburgh really hasn't been doing much lately. I know they weren't striking out earlier in the season, but lately, they've had games in between where they strike out a ton. So I love Arrieta. If you want to punt Sale and you want to get some more bats in for cash, I don't mind Arrieta. As far as bats in this game, I mean, I guess if you want to play some Cubs, it's fine. I'm not going to be on. I think there's better spots. And as far as Pittsburgh, the Pittsburgh bats are just blah. They're always blah. Arrieta's been pitching good. There's just no need for it.
Yeah. Do you think Arrieta has the upside, though, to match Sale if you wanted to fade Sale attorneys?
Point per dollar?
Yeah.
Let's see. Sale is 10.9. 55. And then you got, what Arrieta's 9? No, I don't think he does. But I mean, the other thing you got to ask yourself is if you go with Arrieta, even though he can't match Sale, is basically if you go with Arrieta for cash and you punt Sale, your batter's just going to go do better. You're going to get, it's pretty much more of a game theory play where you go Sale and you get a bunch of cheap batters. If they go off, you're going to do well. Whereas if you go with Arrieta and you get some better, higher price guys and they go off, it's going to. So it all depends on how your batters do. But I think Arrieta's more manageable, not looking at the value plays out there. But Sale, I think he has a higher ceiling tomorrow.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so too. I think I might go a little bit to the bats here if something comes out, like something pops out, like Kuhl's got a really bad slider or something, and this, somebody hits sliders really good. I might do that, but I just don't really like it. And I have a little bit of interest in Arrieta. I think he probably, his floor is pretty damn good, but his ceiling isn't that high. You're kind of right. So that being said,
I think with the game that Sale had last time out, people are going to be scared to play him.
Oh yeah,
he got rocked by Cleveland, so people might be off him.
Yeah, though, man, anytime he faces like an old AL Central team, they face him all the time. So, All right, so this is a game that is taking place in Tropicana in Tampa. So they're moving because of Hurricane Harvey. Martin Perez and the Texas Rangers are taking on Mike Fiers and the Houston Astros.
Other than most people, this game just does nothing for me. Both pitchers are just blah. Both hitting. Houston's been blah for like the last maybe a month. They really haven't just been doing anything.
Mm-hmm.
Texas seems to only score when they're at home against a bad pitcher. So I'm probably Xing this game out. I know most people, they see Texas, they see Houston, they're gonna be interested in it. But tomorrow, I pretty much already have my spots picked out, and this game's not winnable unless a value play opens up.
Yeah, I think the biggest question of the day is this game going to draw more than a regular Rays game?
it probably will.
I think, I think you can go one-offs here with like Bregman, Springer. I mean, I think they could hit Perez easily. I'm not saying you can't go there, but you're right. They've been cold, and they've been a little bit just like you just don't want to play them. And even though they have the talent to put up 20 runs. That's the thing, though. And then on the other side, Fiers, he's got some strikeout upside, but I like this Texas Rangers offense. I like it too much. I don't really attack it that often, even if it is the right matchup. It's got to be an elite pitcher.
So I obviously know this stuff's going on in Houston, but because of everything going on in my life, I haven't had a chance to find out how it's affecting it DFS-wise. Are they not able to play in Texas this game? Like, if they wanted this... Or wasn't an option, and they didn't.
I think they could
it.
play. I just think there's too much damage, and nobody can get around. And I think it's not. It's just the city is just like underwater right now in Houston. So I saw this picture on Twitter, and it's like
terrible, man.
It was like there was this picture of like an old nursing home, and the ladies are like just like it's no other big deal, but the water's up to like they're in their seats just knitting. And the water's like, there's like, we're too old, we're not moving, we can't do anything about it. And it was crazy. It was a crazy picture. It was very moving. It's weird because living in LA, floods, stuff like that, like we just don't, you know what I mean? Like I can't imagine the water raising that high and like seeing cars. I'd never seen something like that before. It's a crazy
same thing here in Connecticut. Like the worst thing that we have is like a hurricane coming up the coast. Other than that, nothing happens. So, like, I could never imagine even dealing with half the stuff that these people are dealing with.
Yeah. So, anyway, keep them in their prayers, and if you can, donate something to, I'm sure there's everywhere's doing donations right now. So,
DraftKings did a tournament today. I didn't, like I said, I only played one lineup, and it was a quick 5-minute. I think DraftKings did a fun, like, a tournament trying to raise money. Did you see that at all today?
I did. Yeah, it was a $5 tournament or something like that. But yeah, that's a big deal, Anyways, next game. Oh boy, James Shields, brah, of the Chicago White Sox.
He's still pitching?
Yes, I know. He's still is traveling to Minnesota to take on Irvin Santana and the Minnesota Twins.
Santana, I have Santana rated pretty high tomorrow. Only because there's probably a handful of pitchers that I have interest in. Santana definitely sparks my interest. Whether I'm ready to make that decision now is a no. But definitely, I want to look into it more tomorrow. But I definitely have some interest in him tomorrow. White Sox, you never know what they're going to get. Either they have a really good game and they put up some runs, or they strike out like 7 times and they do nothing. So I want to dig more deep into this. I'd like to, have some exposure to Santana. As far as Shields, we know I'm not touching him. Bats tomorrow. I think there's going to be a lot of people that want to play Minnesota because he's going against Shields. I don't mind. I don't want to do a full stack with Minnesota. It just never pans out well for me. But it may have like a one-off or a 2-man stack from them. Guys that profile well tomorrow. Other than that, I have no interest in the White Sox bats.
Yeah, I would only get Twins bats, and it's funny. They used to be like a good value, and they're just not anymore. Byron Buxton's 3,800. guy that they're wondering if he was even going to make the team this year. Now he's 3,800. I mean, that's how the year gone. It's. I don't think I've rostered him all year, and I don't think I will, even though he's playing well, and I give it up to him. I mean, he's coming off of a 3-home-run game. That's why, and he takes a day off, so they boost him up to 3,800. I mean, yeah, he's been hot. So I mean, it's just funny. He's like somebody I would just never consider. No matter how much they tell you to pay 3,800, you're like, I'm gonna get a better 3,800 outfielder that I feel way more comfortable with. Sorry, I guess maybe that's sometimes it's a blind spot for me as a DFS player, but more times than not, I think I'd rather take the more established guy.
Yeah, and the Twin game also has, other than the usual Coors Field and Chase Field, the Twins, Minnesota has one of the best hitting conditions tomorrow, for an early look. So that's something else that's going to be interesting.
That's good. All right, so let's move down south a little bit to Kansas City, and Alex Cobb of the Tampa Bay Rays taking on Jake Junis and the Kansas City Royals.
I'm not touching either one of these pitchers tomorrow. I think this is going to be one of those sneaky games for bats, only because Kansas City's been terrible the last 2 times out. They haven't been scoring. Tampa Bay, I just think with all the options on the slate tomorrow, nobody's going to look at them. I have interest in both sides. Maybe a Kansas City one-off. I don't feel safe enough doing a full stack with them. But I also think they have the capability of going off tomorrow against Cobb. Cobb's been decent of late, but the conditions tomorrow in Kansas City are actually pretty good for hitting also. I love Tampa Bay. I think they're going to go sneaky. Nobody's going to be playing them with Colorado, Cincinnati, Minnesota going up against Shields. So I like the Duda. The Lomo really hasn't done much, but you got Duda, Dickerson, all the lefties in that order. I definitely have interest in them tomorrow.
Yeah, I don't know. Alex Cobb has a little bit of interest for me. I don't know. He's 7,300. He's like you said, because Kansas City's he hasn't been hitting that well. So, but if the environment is different and changes, you guys have been pretty much onto that. I'll talk to Paulie tomorrow about that, but I might have a little bit interested. And on the other side, the Rays know he's going to go there. Junius is terrible. They're heating up. They're starting to heat up again. So I think Kiermaier coming back has really helped that lineup. So you put Dickerson down, he doesn't have to lead off anymore, and I think he's playing better. Lomo's playing better. So I like that spot as a good contrarian game because people will not go there at all. So because it's right next to the next one where Michael Fulmer of the Detroit Tigers is taking on German Marquez and the Colorado Rockies.
I think I'm staying totally away from this game simply because of today. Today really, I was really shocked that the score was what it was today. Fulmer tomorrow, I think he'll hold. He'll do decent, but I don't think he'll get his point per dollar.
Mm-hmm.
I think he'll, his pitches 7 innings, give up 3 runs, maybe get 3 or 4 strikeouts. Same thing with Marquez. I think he'll do decent enough to where he's not going to get blown up. So I don't want either one of these pitchers. I think there's better options on the slate. Same thing with the bats. I have no problem with a one-off from each team, but I'm definitely not full stack in this game. The conditions, this time of the year, the conditions, even though the ADI is very good for this game, the temperatures and dew points and stuff like that are starting to get a little bit lower, and I think that we're not going to see Coors go off like it has. Earlier in the year, when the season first started, everybody was stacking Coors, and people couldn't understand it wasn't high scoring because it wasn't 90 degrees like it was in the middle of summer when teams were putting up a ton of runs. It's getting colder there. The ball's not traveling like it is. So I don't mind this game for a one-off, but for either side for bats, but I won't be stacking either one of these teams.
Yeah, I am pretty much. You got to fade it at some point. You got to put your foot in the sand and just say, I'm not going to play it today. And it should have went off today. Zimmerman was they say the worst pitcher in baseball. Everything looks great, and it's frustrating when it doesn't happen. But that's just baseball for you. That being said, it's not a bad place to go tomorrow. I just think that it's easy to fade. That's the thing. I think it's way easy to fade, especially after what happened today. So in that case, we're going to fade it too on here on Wise Take. And we're going to go down to Arizona, where Rich Hill and the Los Angeles Dodgers is taking on Zach Godley and the Arizona Diamondbacks.
I just can't play Rich Hill right now, especially at his price. He hasn't been doing it for me, especially going into Arizona. I know he had his last game out. He pitched 9 innings, struck out 10 against the Pirates, but it's the Pirates. I don't like to target anybody going into Arizona. I don't think he's going to put up like 50 points against Arizona and to get his value. Godley, I don't like picking on the Dodgers. I don't care if they haven't scored no runs like in a week. I'm still not picking on the Dodgers. I like both bats from this game, to be honest with you, because I think the exposure is going to be low. People aren't going to want to use Arizona against Rich Hill, and vice versa. I don't think, there may be some people that like the Dodgers, playing some Dodgers against Godley. They got implied total of 4.7. So, I mean, the bats are okay in this game, but, it's not something I'm on a full stack. It might be, I might throw a Goldie in or a JD Martinez, just to be different in GPPs. As far as cash, I'm probably not playing anybody in this game for cash. It's just not safe. Would only play just to be different in GPPs.
For me, I think, I personally think that you can attack. Godley is the one. If you want to fade Sale tomorrow, you guys go with Godley. That's in my opinion. The reason why is Cody Bellinger out of that lineup. The Dodgers are last year's Dodgers offense, and last year's Dodgers offense had nobody that was fearful. Cody Bellinger in that offense makes everybody better, and you've noticed it over the past week. And that since he's been gone, I just think that if you're gonna fade Sale tomorrow in GPPs, Godley's your way to go. Nobody will be on him. You'll be able to get some good bats on them. And the Dodgers, like I said, they've been bad. They've been bad. The Brewers went in there and just shut them down. And it's just it's. I realize they're not striking out. They're still not only striking out about 20%. And I just I know my team. You know what I'm saying? So I just know they're just not playing good right now. So I feel like you can attack them. Like Davies the other day, they should have crushed Davies. Davies threw almost a complete game. It's right now. I kind of like it that the Dodgers are going through a little bit of a lull. They need to. You know what I'm saying? They were too.
Yeah, they can lose 20 games in a row and still win the division.
It's crazy. So. Yeah, I'm all for Zach Godley right now as a first look, just because I'm trying to find somewhere else that we can fade Sale and get somebody that can have that 50-point upside. And I think Godley can do it tomorrow depending on the Dodgers lineup that comes out. Justin Turner has not been hitting very much since the All-Star break at all. It's so my dad is he's almost 70 years old. He's all old and crotchety, and he just texted me. He's like, Justin Turner's the reason why the Dodgers are gonna screw this up. And I'm like, what happened? I feel like something happened. Like he did something, or he broke his hand or something, hitting something to the wall. I'm like, what happened? He's like, he hasn't hit since the All-Star break. I'm like, whatever, Dad. He's just it's his father's. And,
the other thing to consider is Arizona. I think the last 14 games, they're one of the top 5 teams in the league that have been striking out. So, but I just can't play Rich Hill right now. I don't know.
No,
you're a Dodger fan. You tell me.
Vaginitis of the fingers. Sorry.
Yeah.
I don't play Rich Hill. I don't care. It's something that I won't do. At any time, vaginitis of the fingers can pop back up again, and it's bad news. So, that being said, I like Godley. Hughes likes the other side a little bit. It's good to go the other way. I want to see what Paulie D says tomorrow, because we've been on Godley this whole year. So
I'm going to play anybody in Arizona. It's going to be JD Martinez. The guy's just been mashing for them.
I love JD. Yeah, I like JD. You know what else though? Iannetta, if he bats second, I'm down with that.
100%.
Yeah, I'm down with Iannetta batting second. So The next game is Chris Smith of the Oakland A's is taking on Tony Scribner, who of the Anaheim Angels.
Both pitchers in this game are trash, so we're not going to play either one of them. As far as the bats, I think both these teams are going to be good for. If you do a double stack, I think they're both going to be cheap enough that you can get good pitchers in. I love both sides of this. Angels got an implied 5.4. Anytime the Angels have an implied total of that high, it's definitely something you want to consider. It doesn't happen too often.
No.
So the Angels are definitely in play tomorrow. Nobody's going to be on them because, like we mentioned earlier, there's like 5-6 other teams that people are going to be on. So I have no problem with stacking them. As far as the Oakland, I like some of the bats. I want to see what type of lineup they put out there. But even Scribner, they should be able to hit Scribner pretty well. You got guys like Cash Game Porn Lowry. They got cheap guys. So, I mean, if you want to get a double stack in, I like either of these teams for offense. I think they can both put up a decent amount of runs to get you the value you need in tournaments.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. Cash Game Porn is like 3,400, and what?
Yeah,
like Colton Wong is 3,800. What? Did I miss something?
Yes.
I mean, I don't know. There's just these pricing. Wow. I said it today on the live stream. I don't know if you were there on the live stream. I said, trying to figure out FanDuel pricing is harder to figure out than women. Like,
I don't know about that.
It's pretty damn close. I can't understand some of it. I mean, we live in a world where Colton Wong is 3,800 and Robinson Cano's 3,400 and what's his name? Oh, Daniel Murphy's 3,100. Yeah, I mean, it's amazing. The ebbs and flows of a baseball season to me it's crazy. How some players can start out. Rice Hoskins was 2,000, 3-4 weeks ago, and now he's 4,500. I mean, it's just crazy to me. And it's amazing how like you don't even notice some of these guys. You can be so locked in, and you don't even notice some of these guys that have just been going off. Because they'll play like a day game or a night. You don't play them or whatever, and all of a sudden wow, when did they get to be this price? It's crazy.
Now, Trout today they just gave him a random day off because he's been slumping.
I guess. Right? Yeah, it didn't say anything it just probably said, hey, I mean, Trout probably been fucking too much at night and he was tired, so he was like, I'm just gonna be taking the night off, and they're like, okay, Mikey. So
I was him. I probably would be too. I mean,
yeah. Anyways, next game. Last game. Matt Garbage Moore of the San Francisco Giants. Your San Francisco Giants, right? Correct? Yeah.
You're not supposed to tell people that, but yeah, okay.
That's okay.
We'll go with it.
Hey, you guys, you know what? You guys won 3. You guys had a bad
You know what? It's just so embarrassing. I shouldn't say it's embarrassing. They've had a lot of they've just been really bad this year. It's really tough to watch, unfortunately.
Yeah, I mean, when Mad Bum gets hurt like first week of the season or something or whatever, it's pretty much over after that,
That's been bad.
And but they're still they're a competitive team. They don't strike out much. They're taking on Luis Perdomo and the Padres. What do you got?
I have a lot of interest in Matt Moore tomorrow. I had him ranked in my top 5 tomorrow. His last few times out, he's pitched pretty good. The only thing that concerns me is I'm not sure what his price on FanDuel is up to 8.5, which is that kind of makes me nervous. I think it's kind of high for him. I don't feel safe enough to pay that much for him. But I mean, he's been good in his last 3 outings. What's his price on DraftKings? Do you have it up?
DraftKings, I'll get it right now. I had to pick him up. That's why.
He's 8. Well, I don't know if that's correct on here. So.
Yeah.
But I think his salary went up since the last few times he's pitched. So definitely concerns me. But it is San Diego. San Diego's been sucking again. They were hot after the All-Star break, and now they're not doing anything.
Mm-hmm.
So I like more tomorrow. I want to see what kind of lineup San Diego puts out. Perdomo, I don't think the upside's there. You know, Giants are actually starting to hit. You know, starting to hit again.
Mm-hmm.
Not put up a ton of runs, but they're putting up, like 4, 5, 6 a night, which is enough to where if you play Perdomo, he's probably not going to get the strikeouts, and he gives up 4 or 5 runs. He's probably not going to be good enough to use.
Yeah.
As far as the bats, there's just no reason to use either one of these bats tomorrow with the slate that's going on.
Yeah. Let's see. TK had. Who do you have on Thursday? What was his name? I will listen to a little bit of it. I was away. He had a really cash in DFS or something. Cash in DFS.
Yes. Yep.
And he was saying how he stacks the Padres all the time, and that's how he wins. And I'll tell you what. I guess if you were wanting to play Sale, they're cheap stack.
Yeah.
I think that we all know that more can get blown up. So I'm not saying I would do it. I'm trying to say an angle of how you can get a Sale with it. Padres stack goes off with Sale, you're looking good.
Padres got some good righties.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm gonna use the Padres, earlier in the year, I think they were one of the worst teams in the baseball against lefties, and now they kind of fixed that. They got Barella, Margot, Myers, who I don't know if he's figured it out, and then Sanchez catching. So, I can see that happening.
Yeah. So guys, be sure tomorrow to be checking the weather. There's a couple weather spots tomorrow, but that's going to be it for the 15 games. We got through that pretty quick. We're going to do the MLB Pick'em, and then we're going to get the hell out of here. Before we do that, remember, guys, go to wisestake.com, put in the promo code podcast, and get 20% off of any package. That's the monthly, the weekly, or the daily. We say get the monthly. You get articles from myself, Q's, articles from the real Slim Gady. We got attacking palm trees and GPPs. We got the pitching perspective at times from CK. It's all coming up. And, of course, just starting very soon in about 10 days, NFL. And we're going to be hitting that hardcore also. Me and Pauly D will be in Vegas for the Fantasy Football World Championships, doing a little rubbing elbows, drinking, getting some people drunk so they get to know the Wise Take Hootie Hoo Nation, because we like to party.
Periscope.
We like to party. We'll try and Periscope. Yes, we'll try and Periscope at Sapphire, hopefully. That would be cool. See how long we can do that without getting kicked out. But that being said, guys, let's play some of the MLB Pick'em. Let's go to Tier 1. We got Alex Cobb, Irvin Santana, Jake Arrieta, Dylan Bundy, Trevor Bauer, Rich Hill, Matt Moore. Make me throw up from Tier 1. Wow.
I know. I'm looking at this and I'm like, I can't even.
I'd say
I think
Arrieta.
Arrieta's is chalk, but I don't want chalk.
Then I'd go to Cobb. That's where I would do. But that's just because the Royals haven't been hitting. That's just me.
I think if you're gonna be different and you want the ceiling, I think the only guy that has K upside is either Cobb, Bundy, or Hill. I'd probably just go Hill to be different. If he does really good, I think he can put up a big number. I don't know. You could go with either. This is just a terrible Tier 1.
Let's just go. I'm going to go with Cobb because we both said Cobb.
Yeah.
All right. So number 2. Ugh, okay. Well, I think. Ooh. See, this one's
even
harder.
My boy's in there. No way.
This Jake Junis, Luke Weaver, Sally Boy, Mike Fires, Dick Godley too, Fulmer and Perdomo.
All right, Dickey, lock it up.
We'll go Dickey. All right, good.
I'm telling you,
this is a better Tier 2 is better than Tier 1.
I agree with you.
You notice how they didn't even put Sale in there. He didn't either. I go screw it. No, I don't need Sale. All right, we got Rizzo, Machado, Lindor, Trout, Blackman, Arenado, Stanton, or Rendon. Ooh. I mean, you got to think Stanton's like. I mean, he didn't hit one today.
Yeah, it's too chalky.
Yeah.
I want Machado. He's too chalky for me, Stan.
What about Trout then? After taking a day off, that's got to be good.
He's still slumping. I need to see something from him.
All right. Let's just keep going. Rizzo. Let's just start at the top then. I'm just going to go down.
Machado. I like Machado.
You like Machado? Okay, cool.
Let's play him. He's heating up. I think he's going to go under on.
T4, Byron Buxton, Chris Bryant. I would never thought I'd put them two together. Tim Beckham, Mookie Betts, Jay Bruce, Joey Votto, Jose Altuve, and Justin Upton. I like Votto. for me.
Yeah, even chalk, I'll take him because the rest of our lineup's already diversified.
Yeah.
So.
All right. Have you played this yet? I've never played this yet. Have you?
The only time I play is when I'm on the podcast and I pick this. And right now I am 2 for 2 in cashing with it. So.
Oh, good. And you actually keep this lineup too?
Yeah. If I forget, I go back to the podcast, listen to the podcast. Oh, nice. I mean, nothing huge, but I'm like, I'm cashing. So.
Yeah, whatever. Let's see. Jose Ramirez, Adam Duvall, George Springer, Adrian Belche, Freddie Freeman, Kinsler LeMahieu, and Howie Kendrick. Wow, that's like.
I guess Jose Ramirez, he's starting to hit again. Garcia. The rest of these guys, Freeman, I'm not touching until he starts this.
You want to do a stack with Duvall?
How's Duvall hit righties? Duvall hit righties pretty decent?
I think he's okay. I don't know. I'd like to see what Flexen's reverse splits are. I mean, I realize he gets it up to the lefties better, but I mean, where else are we gonna go? I mean, it's not
Freeman, Ramirez, Duvall were the only two guys I would even use.
Yeah.
So let's go Duvall because we both like him.
Yeah,
it's fine.
T6, we got Scope, Benintendi, Judge, Fowler, Goldie, Grandy, Gerardo, and Ozuna. Ooh.
Scope. Goldschmidt usually hits righties better, which is really odd lately. Judge, so bad today. This is like one of the hardest ones I had to. I guess I would. I mean, there's not really a chalk on here, so I think they're all going to be different. So I'd probably take the best player listed and just probably maybe just say Goldie and hope that he hits Hill.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I'm good with it. I mean, I wouldn't mind going Scope because then you got Machado, Scope, or Votto, Duvall.
I think in that tier you could probably pick anybody and just really make an argument for him.
All right, T7, Kiermaier, Abreu, Schwarber, Alonso, Cruz, Mancini, Hoskins, and Murphy.
I like Trey Mancini. He's been heating up a little bit. Profiles well against Ramirez.
Yeah, down with him or Kiermaier.
That's exactly what I was just going to say. Him or Kiermaier.
Yeah. All right, let's go with Mancini. And then finally, T8, Souza, Hosmer, Dozier, Chris Davis, Semien, Pham, Andrews, and Seager.
How's Seager? Has Seager been hitting the ball?
Yeah, he's been okay. He's been hitting, I don't know. I'm fading the Dodgers tomorrow, so I'm not.
All right, so let's not use him. I would say here it's either Souza or Pham for me. I'd probably just go Souza because he hits, he profiles well against righties, and I'm not, I don't mind being chalky in a few spots in this pick'em as long as it's not every single position.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. All right. So we got Cobb, Dickey, Machado, Votto, Duvall, Goldie, Mancini, and Souza. That's our team.
Like it. Yeah, I might try to put that into a regular tournament.
Yeah, that'd be good. That'd be good. So, anyways, guys, though, that's gonna do it for tonight, Monday night, tuning in Tuesday. So, once again, we want to thank you guys for tuning in, and be sure to follow us on iTunes, Podbean, on YouTube. Put the thumbs up. We really like it. Be sure to hit up Q's or myself for any questions you got during the day. And remember, join Wise Take. We have a lot of fun. We have a good community. We're having fun for baseball. Football season's coming up. We got some great changes. Everything's going good. We got a good community. Everybody's happy, and we have a lot of fun. So, that being said, anything else to say, Q's?
No, I mean, fun and winning, man. I'm not sure what else you want within the community. If that's not what that doesn't work, then I don't know what to tell you.
And we learn, and we learn too. We're learning, and just everything. I'll tell you what. The one thing, the Coors effect, man. We never would have known that if it wasn't, for you and getting this to be known of it. And next year, I feel like that's something that we're gonna have a really big advantage of, because I don't think that people know that I don't think it's very well known. They don't do the correlation.
They're picking up on it now.
Well, if they join Wise Take, they're going to pick up on it.
There's something, like...
There's something in the air.
There's something to learn from everybody in the pod, It
is.
I mean, not the pod, the chat, there's... We get a lot of good info out there.
And even some of our members, they come in and they we never claim to be, I don't even know what a professional is. You know what I'm saying? Like, I got in this business, I looked at the people in the business, I'm like, you ain't no better than me. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have more time than me. That's all you have.
Right. Yeah.
So, Anyways, for that being said, we do really appreciate you spending your time with us here at Wise Take. So, anyways, for Mr. Q's The Beast, I am Patio Joe, and we are out.